What's up guys, I'm Andy from 1A Auto. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install these fender flares from 1AAuto.com. It's going to give your truck a more aggressive look. If you want these or other parts for your vehicle, click the link in the description and head over to 1AAuto.com. All right, I want to take this off. I want to take these two screws out. I'm going to use a T15 and a ratchet. Take those out. Take those out. Set these aside. We will reuse one of them. And grab this and just pull it off. Underneath here, you're just gonna slide it forward. There's a little clip right there. These two little clips, those are gonna stay in there because the new guard is gonna cover those. New fender flare. At this point, I'm just gonna throw this away because I'm not gonna need it anymore. Now I'm just gonna take some soapy water and a mitt, and I'm gonna wash that area of the vehicle. You could wash the whole car if you want to, but the reason why I waited till I got that off was so I could get underneath there. All right, now I'm just gonna wipe it down with a wet rag. I don't have a hose inside here, so I'll just rinse off the soapy water, then we can dry it. So with the fender flare, we wanna put it on a soft surface. You can use a blanket or a towel or something. We're just using these mats so we don't scratch anything. So now we're gonna get this prepared to go on the vehicle. If you wanted to, you can have a professional paint this before, or you can do it yourself. And on the back side, what we're gonna do is take some alcohol and a rag. Like rubbing alcohol is fine. And I'm just gonna wipe on the inside of here. Just like that, go all the way around. Just on the top side. You don't have to do it on the bottom side, on the inside. Just like that. Once that's all dry, we're gonna apply this rubber seal. There is double-sided tape on one side of it, and you're just gonna run it around, and then you're gonna trim it, and you're gonna use this for all four of them. So you wanna get this started here. Gonna peel a little bit of this back, just like that. We'll get it started in the corner. This does take a little bit of patience. And then just put it on just like a zipper. Now I'm just gonna make sure I leave some of that double-sided tape so that I can access it later. All right, I'm almost to the end. It's starting to lift up. I think I'm just going to stop there, because every time I go to here and then go over to here, it lifts up over here. So I'm gonna start taking the tape off. Just make sure, so what I do is just secure that corner right there, that's pretty good. And then go a couple inches forward, peel the tape, and then push it down. Go a little further, peel the tape, push it down. I'm just gonna do that the whole way. So this area, I'm just gonna make sure I get this attached first. Peel this a little bit. Trying to get in that corner there. I'm just gonna take some cutters and cut it right here. I can trim it down a little bit later. All right, there we go. Make it a little easier. All right, that's in that corner. Peel this back a little bit. And peel it the rest of the way. All right, that's good. And then I'm just gonna trim right here. Just use some side cutters. So now we wanna fill these holes before we install this. So we have these bolts, a washer, so the bolt goes on the washer, and the washer is just on the outside, and then we have a nut. So we'll slide that through the outside, put the nut on the inside. There is nylon thread locker on the nut. And the kit actually comes with this T45 bit. So I've tried this a couple ways. It seems like the easiest way to use this is to take an 8mm wrench, put the bit in the wrench, and we're gonna hold it from the back side. Just like that, hold the screw. And then we'll take a 13mm socket and a ratchet and tighten this up. And you just want to snug it up, not too tight. It is plastic, so just snug. That's good. We're going to do the same all around the rest of the flare. So in case you were wondering, these are just cosmetic. These don't actually attach to the fender. The only attachment is on the bottom. And when you attach the bottom screws, it pushes enough force so that keeps the flare up against the fender. All right, now we're ready to make some marks. You want to line this up on the vehicle. Now we're going to reuse the factory hole right here. So line that up with the factory hole right there. You can put the screw in if you want to. And then if that looks like it's good all the way around, make sure it looks good over here. Then we're going to take a marker and we're just going to mark where these holes are, just like that. Then we're going to pull it down. Okay, a marker that showed up would be more ideal, but I didn't want to get marks on the fender flare, so I'll use this right here. Now what you need to do is measure from this side of the fender in 16mm right here, and then right here as well, 16mm. And then the back 3, right here, and right here, you want those 12 millimeters. So a easy trick is to take a 16mm wrench, line this up right here, and make a mark. And we can make a mark right there, where that's gonna be. So that's 16mm. And on this one right here, the same. It's 12mm, so that's going to be right there. Right here, 12mm. All right, that's pretty good. Now this may seem a little bit scary, but don't be scared. We are going to take a little pilot drill. We'll use a 3/16 drill bit. We're just going to drill right here. You could take a center punch and just punch it so that it, so the drill doesn't walk away. But we're all set, just like that. There we go. So we are going to use one of these screws from the old hardware, and then we have 5 new of these self-tapping screws we're going to use. I'm going to grab a friend to help me hold this up while I get these in, because otherwise it's kind of hard to get this set properly. I'll just slide this in position. Make sure that looks pretty good. I'm going to start this bottom one first. All right, then I'm going to have my helper hold up here, and I'm going to get this front one started. I'll take this self-trapping screw and a screw gun with a Phillips head bit. Get that one started. And then we're going to do the same with the other ones. Just make sure the holes line up. All right, so those are all in. So now I'll tighten down the bottom one. with a T15 and a ratchet. You can take the old screw and stick that down there if you want to, just to keep it in the vehicle. It's not going to hold anything in. Now the front one's done, you can do the same with the other side, and now we're going to move on to the rear. Now I'm going to use the T15 and a ratchet. I'm going to take these bolts out right here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. All right, with those bolts out, take this, take that right off. Then we're going to take these 2 screws out, the same T15 and a ratchet. Take those screws out. And there's these push pins underneath here. I'm just going to use a trim tool, pop these off. Oops, that one broke. Don't worry about that. These are a little bit brittle, so. That one broke too. Pop those off. And just slide this off, just like that. So don't worry about those broken push pins because we're not going to reuse that panel or the front panel. We can leave those push clips in there, and I'm just going to wash this area. These 2 bolts are going to go, or screws are going to go back in here, especially if you have an inner fender liner. This vehicle doesn't have one, but so we'll just put those in anyway. Now we're going to do the same with this one. We're going to clean the inside surface and then apply that rubber seal. So we want to do the same with these bolts. Put the bolt on the washer, slide that from the front side, put the nut on the back. Then we'll snug them all down. Now we'll take the fender flare, just slide it in position, get these bolts lined up. That looks pretty good. And we'll take a marker. Just gonna mark in these holes, just like on the front side. Now with those marked, take it down again. Now we're going to take these S-clips and we're just going to slide these on right here in all those positions. They're going to go on like that. So it's going to be kind of the opposite of how you would think. You don't actually have to drill holes in the truck. Those all in position, take the fender flare, get it lined up. Now at the bottom, they give you these self-tapping screws. They want you to put those where the factory screws would go. Just get those started. All right, we'll get this one started right here as well. And then they have these little screws that we're going to use in all these positions. Get those lined up. Just take a Phillips head screwdriver, get these all started. It might be helpful to have a friend hold the fender for you, the flare, so it's easier to get the screws in. All right, now that those are all in, we can go back and just tighten these down, just snug them up, not too tight. Now I'm going to use a screwdriver. I am going to use an electric ratchet to tighten these down. You could take the tire off and just use a drill and tighten them down, but I can't fit in there with the drill. So I'll just use this. And do the same on this front one. There we go. Check it out. These things came out awesome. Gave the truck a more aggressive look. Pretty easy to do. Get yours at oneauto.com.
Thanks for watching. Visit oneauto.com for quality auto parts shipped to your door, the place for DIY auto repair. And if you enjoyed this video, please click the subscribe button.